Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a coronavirus crash course AR-15 training. And this is specifically for you guys that have bought AR-15s in the last month. And and basically the gun store told you go find an instructor and get some training. But everybody's on lockdown, gun ranges are closed, instructors are not traveling, so you can't get the training. But there's a real situation here that, in the next few days, a few weeks, in a month, there might be looting, rioting, whatever. And you may have to use the gun to defend your house and your family, but you can't get training. So I'm going to do the best that I can to bring you guys up to speed as far as using an AR-15, okay, for home defense. Now, here's the thing. When you buy a pistol, the pistol typically has factory sights that are factory set, okay? So with most pistols, you don't have to adjust the sights. They're usually already zeroed in. On some you do, but most you don't. On most rifles, on the other hand, you have to basically zero the rifle in. On many rifles, like this one over here, which is a flat top, when I bought this had no sights on the gun, so it didn't have the front sight, it didn't have the rear flip-up sight, it did not have a red dot on it, all it was a flat top. This one over here, when I bought it, all it has was the front sight post, okay? So there was nothing back here at all. So that might be the situation that you're in, and we're just gonna have to make the best of it. Okay, so here's the deal. If you've got a flat top that has nothing on it, okay, what we're gonna do is, when you grab the gun, grab it further out here, point your thumb forward, anchor the gun into your chest, bring your face up to the gun, point your thumb at a target, okay? So basically you want to be, let's say, in your basement, right? Because in the basement, everything's a safe direction except up. Or if you're on your, if you don't have a basement, go to your top floor and pick a safe direction where there's no house directly, across from you. So figure out where a safe direction is so that you can go through these exercises, okay? So right now, where I'm at, every direction is a safe direction here. So right now I'm looking at a doorknob across the room over there. I'm going to point my thumb forward, anchor the gun into my chest, bring out the stock so it touches my face, point my thumb to the doorknob, okay? So if you come up, you will get pretty close, because most rooms are no more than 20 feet long. Maybe you got a room that's 30 feet long, which is rare in most houses, but basically we're shooting inside a small area. And in that small area, I would rather have a rifle, even if it has no sights, than a handgun, especially for a beginner, because with a beginner, what happens is, beginners have even if they get training, they usually haven't had they haven't had enough time to get a lot of training. So when they come out, first of all, they probably don't have glow-in-the-dark sights anyway, so they're not going to be able to see in the dark room anyway. But what I find is, like, when I come out, I punch straight out, and basically my gun is oriented straight at the target. Most new shooters, when they come out, they're pointing the gun up or the gun low like this, so they're not punching straight out with a handgun. And the reason is because your hands are close together, so they don't get a good sense if they're going straight or if they're going a little bit down or if they're going a little bit up, okay? So that's why handguns are a lot harder to shoot. And the other thing is that most new shooters don't know that they gotta grip the gun firmly so that the slide has something to push against, okay? Because if the whole gun is moving around, like if the gun's moving like this, it's gonna jam up. So you gotta be behind the gun, pushing into the gun so that the bottom half stays still while the top is going forward. Now, with the rifle, because the rifle has more weight to it, even if you're holding the gun loosely and the bolt is going back and forth, the gun has enough mass so that it will cycle even if you're not pushing into the gun. Okay, so a rifle is a lot better for new shooters to shoot. So if you've got no sights on the gun, okay, point your thumb forward and just practice coming up and pointing that thumb at a target on the wall. Okay, if you do have a front sight, right? Let's say with this one I can flip this sight up over here, or you might have a rifle like this that has a fixed front sight. We fold that back down. So same deal. If you only have a front sight, come up, point that front sight post, just underneath center mass. So basically, what you're trying to do is, you're shooting at a man-sized target. You want to put the front sight post underneath the center. Okay. so that you're hitting up here. So you're going to go right underneath center mass, and this practice coming up. Okay, there's a reason why the military likes having this big front sight post. Okay, that's because in a stressful situation where you really, you're going to see this big thing over here. So it's intuitive. So come up, as long as you get your face on the gun, you'll come up and you'll get that front sight post in the right position. Okay, so you want to put it under the spot you're hitting, not on it, under it. Okay, you want to be able to see your target. Okay, now if you're lucky enough to have a rear sight, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do a mechanical zero on the gun, and what that means is on the front sight post over there's a little indent. If you push that down, it allows you to spin it. We're going to get the top circle flush with the top of the post, and then on the back here, we're going to spin this so that we center that hole right in the center. Okay, so you're going to see the little notches here. You want it to be centered. So that's what we call a mechanical zero. And if you have that, you can basically come up, look through that circle to that front sight post. And what you want to see is this. Circle in the back, front sight post. You want it to look like that. Not like this, not like that, like that. And again, put that front sight post underneath the thing that you want to hit. So if I want to hit up here, I'm going to put like right underneath it. Okay, so that's how you're going to do that. So that's how we're going to aim this rifle. And for most people, they will be more accurate with a rifle that has no sights on it than they will be with a handgun. Okay, if they're not experienced, if they're basically shooting a gun for the first time without ever having been to the gun range. Okay. Next, we're going to go through some we're going to go through some function drills to learn the operation of the gun. And the first thing I want you guys to do is basically grab the gun there, grab the charging handle, and just practice working your bolt. And you can see how that bolt goes back and forth, okay? So grab the bolt there. Nice thing, you got two, you can hook your fingers here, pull it back. That's another thing with handguns. A lot of people, especially women, sometimes have a really hard time working that slide because you really don't have much of a grip here. With a rifle, you can hook your fingers here. It's a lot easier to actually pull back. So practice pulling that back. If you're a lefty, do it on the other side. Okay, practice pulling back. Okay, next thing we're going to practice is locking it open. Okay, so there's a little button here. You can push the bottom, you can push the top. Okay, to lock it open, what we're going to do is we're going to brace this up against your chest, pull this back, push on the bottom. That's going to lock it open. Okay, you can see how that's locked open. All right, now to release it, you're just going to pull back. Okay, you see how the bolt is going to go forward. So practice doing this over and over again, so you get used to it. Brace it up against your shoulder, pull it back, lock it open, push the thing back. Okay, then just pull it back, let it go forward. Okay, you can see once I pull this back past a certain point, you see how that releases. So same deal. If you're a lefty, what you're going to do is you're going to come here, you're going to hit it with your middle finger on this side. So pull this back, hit it with your middle finger. Do it this way so you can see it. Let it go forward. Then pull this back, let it go forward. Do it on this side. Pull this back, hit it with that middle finger. Okay. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. That's the next thing you've got to do. All right, next thing you want to do is get used to the safety over here. There's a safety button over here. Okay, once this has been pulled back, you're able to put the safety back and off. You'll notice that when it's flat, there's usually some indicator here that shows you that it's unsafe. That's the fire position. Okay, so basically when you want to fire, when you want to get out of safe and be ready to fire this gun, we're going to kick start the gun. So just like a motorcycle, when you kick start it, you push down. Here we're going to push down with the thumb. So here's the drill that we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're not going to work with that anymore. We're not going to use the catch. We're going to pull the charging handle back. Okay, get the gun into safe. Okay, come up, get that front sight post or whatever, you point your thumb or whatever you're doing, take your safety off, squeeze the trigger. When you squeeze the trigger, if you're pointing your thumb at the target, make sure that the thing doesn't move. If you've got a front sight post like this, when you bring that up with you, charge again, safety on, right? Come up, okay, now I'm looking at my front sight post, push the safety down, squeeze the trigger, okay, don't move the gun when you squeeze the trigger. Then repeat the drill. Charge it. Safety on, come up, kickstart, fire. Charge, safety on, come up, kickstart, fire. Okay? And concentrate on your front sight post or if you don't have that, then concentrate on keeping your thumb in that direction. If you've got the rear sight, like this one over here, then concentrate on, again, look through the hole in the back to that front sight post. So charge it, safety on, come up, kick start it, squeeze the trigger. If you're lefty, you're just going to do it on this side. So basically, charge it, use this knuckle right here to put your safety on, come up, kick start it, squeeze the trigger. Okay, come down, kick start it, safety on, come up, front side post on the target, kick start it, squeeze the trigger. Okay, just repeat, get really comfortable with this. Safety on, come up, face on the gun. You see how my face is on the gun? Okay, safety's off. No, safety's off that way. Squeeze it. Okay, kick start it, safety on, come up, kick start it, squeeze the trigger. So sometimes it can get a little confusing with the safety, which way it's supposed to go. So the way I find that it's easiest is to think about kick starting it. Okay, now you normally shoot right-handed, so it's a little bit more awkward on my left side. But now the other thing is, once you squeeze the trigger, you'll notice that you cannot put it into the safety mode. Okay, so because right now it won't flip into safe mode, so you have to charge it, put it on safe, come up, kick start it, squeeze. Okay, so that's just something for you guys to be aware of. If you haven't charged it, because when you charge it, basically the hammer comes back. The hammer has to be in the rear position in order for you to be able to put the gun on safety. Okay, so that's the exercise that you guys are going to do. Next thing we're going to get used to is we're going to practice working with the magazine. Okay, and first thing we're going to do is just practice putting the magazine in and out. Okay, so you basically put the magazine in. That little button right there is your magazine release. Push it, take it out. Put it in, take it out. Put it in, take it out. Take it out. If you're a lefty, we'll do it on this side. As a lefty, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my thumb. So I'm going to brace it under my shoulder here, push it with my thumb, pull it out, put it in, thumb, pull it out. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I want you guys to practice, open it up, lock it open, and then put the magazine in. And the reason why we're doing that is because usually the magazines are easier to load that way, okay? And now when the magazine is in, okay, what you gotta do is to release it, you gotta push the top part of this, okay? And what you can do is if you push it hard enough, I'm gonna push that with my finger, okay? You see how it goes forward, okay? So let's do that again. Pull this back, all right? You can pull it back, and since the magazine's in, I don't have to hold that down. So just the magazine's actually gonna lock it open, okay? I'm gonna push that button over there to release it. Okay, so just get used to that. Pull it back. Okay, practice hitting that button there. Pull it back. Practice hitting that button there. Okay, if you're right-handed, do it on this side. Pull it back. Hit it with that thumb. Okay, if you're right-handed, pull it back. Hit it with that thumb. Pull it back. So get used to that function. Okay, so you gotta know how how these buttons work on this gun. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna practice actually loading the magazine. Okay, keeping in mind that the curve is forward. Okay, so you're gonna put them in like this with two fingers, bullet pointing forward. Okay, just press down with two fingers. Okay, the bullet is just the tip over there. The rest of this is the case that basically gets ejected after you fire it around. So we're gonna load a bunch of rounds in here. Okay, now normally this is the part I'd rather you guys be doing at a gun range, but that's not an option right now, so we're going to have to make the best out of it. So here's the thing. You're going to basically lock the gun open and flip the gun into the safe position. Okay, if it's in the fire position, you're going to make sure that it's safe. Safe is basically horizontal, and the easy way to remember that is if if you're doing a low crawl drill where you're kind of dragging the rifle along the ground to stay as low on the ground as possible. If there's any rocks on the ground, the safety has to be horizontal, because if any rocks hit the safety, you want it to just basically slide off it. If the safety were up, if a rock were to hit it, it would make it go horizontal anyway. So that's how you remember that your safety is always horizontal. Okay, so the gun's locked open. Okay, we're gonna put the magazine in, give it a tug to make sure it's in there, and now I'm gonna hit the bolt release right there. You just push the top of that. I'll do that here so you guys can see it. Okay, and that's going to put a round in the chamber. Now, if I want to check and see if there's a round in the chamber, what I can do is I can pinch it back a little bit. All right, you guys see how there's a round in the chamber there? Okay, and then if you just let it go in. Now here's the thing, if I do that, if I check to see if there's a round in the chamber, I want to use my forward assist because sometimes this doesn't close all the way, especially like a gun that's shot lots of rounds. So right now I can tell it's not closed. Okay, so I'm going to push the forward assist, and that's going to close it. If I pinch it. Now again, if you slingshot it, it'll probably close it anyway, but you know, I'd want to make sure, I'd want to do that. So again, if I do it slowly, probably not going to close. Push it. If you don't have a forward assist, when you pull it back, what you do is you just use your finger to close it. Okay. So you can use your finger to close. Okay. So now we got to round the chamber. We want to make this gun safe. Okay. Let me come back here so you guys can see better. Okay, notice my finger's straight. Okay. I'm going to basically push the magazine release, take the magazine out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the round out. See how it comes out? I'm going to check my chamber, make sure there's nothing in the chamber, and the gun is safe. Okay, so I want to repeat this drill to get comfortable with this. You know, this is something that you got to be comfortable with. You got to be comfortable with loading and unloading the gun. Okay, and basically you did the dry fire drills. Okay, you know what it means to squeeze the trigger. Okay, so you know that in order for the gun to fire, you got to take the safety off and squeeze the trigger. So it's a two-part process. So, you know, loading and unloading the gun, as long as you're keeping your finger off trigger and keeping the gun in the safe direction, is a safe thing for you guys to do. But like I said, make sure that you're pointing the gun in the direction that is in fact safe. So let's practice this again. This time I'll do it with lefty. So as a lefty, right, I'm going to use my middle finger here. I'm going to lock the gun back. Okay, I'm going to put the safety on. Okay, right now it happens to be on already, but if it's not on, I'm going to use that knuckle right there. Okay, so as a lefty, that's how I activate the safety, right? Okay, I'm activating it with that. So basically, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna close it, pull it back, lock that open, put the safety on. Okay. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my magazine, put that in. Okay. I'll do it again. If I want to take it out, put it in, give it a tug to make sure it's in. Okay, hit that button right there. When I hit that button with my index finger, it's gonna close the bolt. Okay, so now I have it around the chamber. If I want to do a press check to see it, if it's in there, open it up like this. You hit the forward assist with my thumb over here. Gun is good. Okay, safety's on because I put it on already. So now I want to make the gun safe again. Take the magazine out. Okay, basically, I'm gonna do it here so you guys can see it. So I'm gonna try and catch it in. Nope, I missed it. Okay, anyway, I can see the chamber. Chamber is safe. Okay, you know, and then what you can also do, because right now the hammer is in the rear position. If I wanted to store this gun, I don't like storing it with the hammer back, so what I'll do is after I check the chamber and make sure it's empty, I'll take the safety off, point in the safe direction, and dry fire it, okay? So something I want you guys to be aware of with the safety, okay, with handguns, you know, like this Glock here, okay, the safety mechanism on the Glock is the holster. Okay, the gun doesn't have a safety. So when this gun is in the holster, you can't get to the trigger. You see how the trigger is covered? Okay, so on a, especially on a striker fired gun like this that has light trigger pull, you know, I want to use a hard Kydex holster. I don't want to use a leather holster or a fabric holster. It's got to be a hard holster that protects the trigger. On the rifle, the trigger is always exposed. Okay, so that's why we have to use the safety. Okay, we gotta use the safety, and that's why we want to basically just drill it. That when we charge the rifle, we lock it open. Immediately we put the safety on. Okay, so as soon as you lock it open, put the safety on. This way your safety is on. And then put your magazine in. Give it a tug. Make sure it's in there. Hit the bolt. Okay, now to make safe, hit the magazine release. Take the magazine out, and the gun is safe. Okay, so that is our crash course on AR-15 training. And again, this is geared for people that just bought a gun in the last month, and it's impossible to get to a range or find an instructor to train you. So we're doing the best that we can, so that, you know, if something bad happens, you have some ability to defend yourself. Now, another thing for you guys to be aware of, an AR-15, in a really, you know, bad situation where you do jam the gun up or you fumbled this somehow and you didn't get the ammunition in, you know, this in and of itself can be used as a weapon. Basically, you can use this as a spear, jab somebody in the face really hard with this. That's, you know, that's not going to feel good. Now, if you look at like Civil War movies and World War II movies, sometimes they would hit with the butt here. Problem is that the butt on most of these AR-15s is pretty light. It's plastic. So if I want to hit somebody with this, I'm basically going to hit them like that. Okay. So basically, this is steel over here. That's a steel bar, especially on this rifle over here. That's all steel. Okay, whereas this has the rail over here. So with a rifle like this, I can stab somebody in the face really hard with this. You know, flip it over. You know, and basically hit them with the steel bar if I need to. So, you know, there's more than one way to use a rifle if you have to use a rifle, if it really comes down to, you know, a grappling match. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to put that out there for you guys. You know, unless you're, you know, you've done hand-to-hand training and some combat, basically you want to use the bullets rather than try to use the rifle as a club. So hopefully you won't be in that situation. And, you know, if you are in a dangerous situation where you need to use the rifle for self-defense, hopefully, given the video that I just showed you guys, you'll be able to, you know, to load and use the rifle effectively. So if you guys have any questions, comments, anything else you'd like to add, anything I might have missed, by all means put in the comment section. You know, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not a member of the channel, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon.